Get your tickets now for the Face-Off Classic featuring the area's best lacrosse with Colgate versus Navy and Virginia versus Johns Hopkins on March 23rd at M&T Bank Stadium. Tickets available at faceoffclassic.com. And welcome back to Inside PressBox. We don't often book the same guest on back-to-back weeks, but we barely scratched the surface of the many post-Flacco signing scenarios with him last week. He is Ken Zalis from fansfantasyfootball.com and, of course, PressBoxOnline.com, and he joins us again. And, Ken, first of all, what do you do when you sign a 6-year contract for $120 million if you're Joe Flacco?
Well, apparently you go get some McNuggets, because that's what he did. You know, his celebration dinner was going to McDonald's, and
this is one of my favorite. I love this.
Yeah, great picture. But you know, that's Joe. I mean, you know, does it shock you that that's what he did? He's very, you know, easygoing. We saw at the press conference, very, you know, relaxed, laid back, just like he is off the field, on the field before the money. So, you know, he's Joe, and that's why we love him here.
You know, before we get into the details of why I wanted to have you on, I asked him a question at the press conference about, has it dawned on you yet that almost like a pitcher and catcher, you're going to be part of an all-Delaware tandem?
Yeah.
You're the quarterback and Gino Gradkowski's, and he went immediately into how he called Matt Burke to ask him if Gino was ready, and then he said, you know, and then it dawned on me that we're both, you know, we both went to Delaware. It's a neat little story.
It is. It's a great story, both being from Delaware. So, you know, it'll be nice. And you know, Burke says he's ready. So well, let's hope he's ready, because he's going to take on a big responsibility. All
right. Is Ozzie Newsome, Eric DeCosta, and team, are they ready now? And how much did Joe help the team by shaping this contract the way he did?
He helped them immensely. I mean, now all the scenarios that we talked about before, will Bolden be back? Will they have to restructure Jacoby Jones? Will Leach be back? All these guys can come back now. Plus, you can maybe keep Ellerbe now. I think we still have Kruger probably on his way out. But now Ellerbe is in play. You're going to keep and put these tenders on Pitta, Arthur Jones. Everybody can come back, at least for this next year. You know, a $6.8 million cap for a starting quarterback in the NFL is tremendous. Joe and his people, the Ravens and their people, they did a great job on this contract. He got out of it what he wants. He can call himself the highest paid player history of the NFL
for about a month,
for a month or two, until the next one's done. But what it did was, for the next 3 years, it's very friendly for the Ravens. And if Joe Flacco continues on the pace that we would expect him to be on, they'll redo this contract in year 4. He'll get another big bonus and spread everything out.
So folks that are listening or viewing right now understand this. This is really it's a 6-year contract, but it's really a 3-year contract to prove himself again, worthy of another huge payday.
Yeah, to me, it's sort of like he bet on himself before this season. He could have taken the $16 million per year type thing and had maybe $20 or $30 million guaranteed.
Right.
But he bet on himself. He now has $60 guaranteed, and he's doing it again, because after 3 years, if he is still a top 10 quarterback in this league, and they're still going to the playoffs every year, and they're making appearances in the AFC Championship and maybe another Super Bowl, he's going to get another huge contract.
And that would set it up for that from age 30 to 38 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So he'll be set at that point. He'll be a Raven for life, and we would expect him. And to be honest, if the other side, if he falls off the cliff, the Ravens are going to cut him after 3 years, and that's the friendly part for the Ravens. They're not going to go into a year in year 4 where he's got $20 million plus against the cap.
And when this starts to get painful for the Ravens in year 3, that's when the cap is due to go up.
Cap's supposed to expand. So we'll see how much it is.
Or 140.
Yeah, he's got a $14 million cap number in year 3, but the cap is supposed to expand by 10 or 12 million at that point.
We all have the cornerback Williams pretty much gone.
Probably so.
Is there a scenario now with the way this deal is that they could get Kruger done? Or Kruger's just going to be blown away by too much money?
I think Kruger's going to be blown away. I mean, he's depending on how you have him ranked, he's the number 2 or number 3 rush end. and they're not going to be able to afford him. I mean, he's going to get somewhere in the neighborhood of $8 to $11 million per year. The Ravens just don't have that in their budget. You're going to hope that Suggs is back healthy, and he's that pass rusher you're going to work through the draft. But you got so many other guys that you need to bring back to keep this team going in the right direction.
One guy neither of us has mentioned yet is Ed Reed. Will he be back? And if so, what type of number will he be set at?
Will he be back? I think he will be back. What kind of number? 4? I think you're looking at 4 plus an incentive-weighted contract based on how many games he plays and things like that. We still know, look, Ed Reed is one of the great safeties in the history of the NFL. And even when he doesn't make plays that you see on Sunday, he's making a play that affects everything else because teams are scared to death to throw at him. So Ed Reed needs to be back for the leadership of this team. So I think he is. They work it out. Ed wants to be here. Forget about everything that's in the media. He answers questions that are asked. That's what Ed does. If he says he wants to go to New England, he was asked a question, would you consider going to New England? They don't tell you the next part if you're not a Baltimore Raven.
Right.
So he's a Baltimore Raven.
All right, Ken Zalis. You can read him on fansfantasyfootball.com, his website, or on PressBoxOnline.com. And when we get back, we'll take a look at the Yingling Lager photo of the week, and it won't be that tweeted photograph of Joe Flacco at McDonald's. Join PressBox for the second Thursday luncheon on March 14th at Padonia Station. This month's speaker will be Kevin Byrne from the Baltimore Ravens, and Snuffy Smith will be there to talk NCAA basketball. Reserve your seats today. Go to PressBoxOnline.com for all the details.